So here I am, just scaring you a little bit. So boo, boo. Okay. Welcome to Jotunheim Whispers. Once again, my cat is beating me up, and so I, ow, ouch. I was really planning on having him on my lap here, so we could, celebrate together, I guess, because he could look like a pumpkin, but he still decided to abuse me. So here we go. If you are seeing this on YouTube, you can obviously notice some decor that I have added. I also have my Halloween socks on. So they are purple and with some crows. I guess the lighting is so dark that it's difficult to see that, but you know what? It's fine. So, 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 I also have a new microphone holder for this episode, which is a little mice that is hidden in a pumpkin. So, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you are capable to see a little peepee, which is the name of the mouse. That I guess that sounded weird. Oh, and my cat is here now, so we can have a cat in our lap. Thank you so much, Phoebe. I guess you love Halloween more than Mabel does. So thank you. Thank you for coming here. Do you have any comments for us? Say something. Say something. Please. Please. Oh, all right. That's okay. She's not in a talkative mode. It's fine. So, happy Halloween, guys. You are listening to Jotunheim Whispers, and I am frostjotun. I am a composer, an artist, a poet, some other things, and I am a lover of Halloween. So, as some of you know, I am ROAs. So I'm not a lover of people, but Halloween is an exception. And so I guess I don't have many scary stories or encounters, which is a good thing, thank God. But I am here to tell you something so horrifying that you will remember this for the rest of your lives. So listen carefully. Close your eyes, relax, and listen. Because this story is so mysterious that it is not possible to perceive it fully. Yes. So now, as you have closed your eyes, I will begin. I was 5 years old. I was a really small and smart child that wouldn't believe anything that people would just say. I would always need proof. And so I remember it was at night. My relatives were watching TV, and then something weird happened. I have decided to look into the corridor. It was dark. It was spooky a little bit. But then I saw something that changed my life completely. And so here I was, a little child, hearing the sounds of TV, being capable of analyzing things, and I see a skeleton in that corridor, and the skeleton was glowing and walking towards me. You would assume that maybe I was sleeping and that was a dream, but I vividly remember being awake. I vividly remember being close to my relatives that were on the couch. And I didn't say anything because I knew that no one would believe me, or maybe because I was too scared to say anything, maybe because I knew it was real. And so if others saw it, they would also realize it's real. And that went unexplained my whole life. I still don't know what it was. I still don't know what happened and how to live with it. Well, we will never know. That is the tragic story of a child that saw something weird. Yeah, so I guess this is the only story I've got. So for the rest of this episode, I'm gonna be just yapping about how much I love Halloween. And I mean, this love is kinda conditional because I am too sensitive to watch horror films or thrillers and stuff like that. I really am not capable. Um, it's too stressful, like, no, thank you. So I have never seen a horror movie in my life. The most stressful movie I've seen was Whiplash, and it just reminded me of my education as a child. So it wasn't that bad, I guess. And so now let's just talk about Halloween things because we could talk about some scary stuff, you know, politics, the economy, but should we? I mean, those things are already scary and they are present in our everyday lives. So, what's the point in having them in such a celebratory day? I don't know. Like, I'm not feeling it. So, why do I love Halloween? Well, I love autumn, especially since I'm not going to the Arts Academy. So, since I became free of that, it became my favorite sorry, season, because it is so cozy, I guess. You have to wear sweaters. Everything is orange and brown, which are such a nice combinations of colors. And on Halloween, you add the purple there. It's also great. So, if you're seeing this on YouTube, again, my kitty is very, very Halloweeny. So I'm very happy that she decided to join me today on this celebration. And yes, so now she's a part of our little vibey scene here. Yeah. So another reason for me to love Halloween is honestly, I love sweets. And we don't celebrate Halloween like Americans do, obviously. So we don't have this tradition of people going around with sweets and stuff, like with candies and chocolates. But for a couple years, as we started taking Halloween more seriously in our household, Um, well, a couple of years ago or a year ago, my mom ordered some sweets on the internet that were really good. But this year, well, this year I am cooking everything. I am baking and stuff. So this responsibility is now on me, and it's so awesome, to be honest, since I love baking and cooking, and I am able to control each ingredient that goes into the food. So I know that there aren't like any chemicals that are super bad for you, any like dyes that I don't know, eat your brain or something like that. And I try to cook without sugar and gluten, which is kind of easy if we are talking about sugar because we just don't have it at home. Um, so yeah, it's super tasty. It's amazing and like it's so cozy. Um, in autumn time, I also like to drink masala. Um, yeah. So that's that, I guess. Okay. Um, Oh, I have a story for you. I just remembered something that traumatized me for life. So there we go. Let's continue. Close your eyes once again. Listen carefully, but don't be too scared, as we have more time to talk. So there I was, a 17-year-old composer who just moved out of their household to live by themselves, who was studying music at an academy, who was going to sleep too late, but who was not a terrible person to begin with. It was an evening, about 11 p.m. I have returned from my day of studying. I think I was writing some music, but I'm not sure, as it happened several years ago. I remember hearing a weird sound outside of my apartment. Obviously, I was alone and it was late, so I got a little worried. But at first, I didn't want to check anything just so I wouldn't make any sounds. But then the weird sound repeated. I heard it again, and there appeared some voices of different people. And so I decided I'm gonna be brave and I will check it out. And so I looked through my peephole, through the door to my apartment, and what I saw was something I had never seen in my life. It was clearly a dead body of a woman, and there was a man standing. Well, I fucked up. Okay, let's try this again, I guess. Oh, getting into spooky mood. Right, be scary, please, be scary, be scared, be scary. All right, so let's just remember the situation once again. It was 11 p.m. I was alone in my apartment and I heard a weird sound. And I and so I looked through my peephole and I saw a body of a dead woman. And there was a man standing next to her. And I froze. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say or how to act. So I took a picture and posted it on my Instagram stories. Then I started hearing more voices, and my guess is that those were maybe doctors or any special forces, maybe the police, something like that. And that was when I realized for sure that it was a dead body because it wasn't moving. And I was looking at all of it happening. It was obviously not in the center of my peephole, so I could just see it in the corner. But I could see the policemen very well because they were right, right, right in front of my door. Right in front of my door, and they started asking this man some questions. So obviously, they were trying to find out if he killed this woman, who I am guessing was his wife, perhaps. And I still don't know what really happened. I just remember that they covered the body and it still laid there for several hours because I had been checking. And yes, it was insane. And I mean, I deleted those pictures because I don't want to have that in my photo album. But yes, so that was another scary story, which also wasn't really scary. Yeah, so some more scary things are, I guess, for people who experienced um um sleeping in an apartment where I slept. So my mom, I guess. I have this really interesting thing about me, which turned out to be an epileptic thing. It started when I was about 8. Um, I started screaming in my sleep, and as my mom would describe, I would kind of stand up. My eyes would be open, but they would be blank, so I wouldn't be able to see her or communicate with her. And I would either scream or say things in an imaginary language that wouldn't exist, or I would walk, or in some cases, when she would try to wake me up, I would fight. So, my guess is that it is pretty scary for my mom, I guess, to have experienced that. I mean, can you imagine? Um, just sleeping and then next second you have a child screaming, saying that they are being not perceived by but chased by someone like a monster of some kind or something like that. I personally have no memory of those things. I cannot remember anything. I could remember some dreams I've had in the nights that weird things happened that were just, me being chased and me trying to hide and run away. Um, and I remembered one dream when I saw a silhouette of a man trying to like choke me in my sleep. But it turned out that, at the same time, my mom was trying to wake me up, so perhaps it was my brain just analyzing and turning this information into something else. So I guess I am the scary part, not the stories. But be not afraid. I am not a biblically accurate Jotun yet. I am not a giant. I don't have scary glowing red eyes. So for now, you are safe. The only scary thing about me is that I have some Halloween socks. Yay! So today is Halloween, right? Right? Yeah, so I'm looking at some Halloween decor that I have here. You cannot see that even on YouTube, but I have a garland of some bats here, and it's very cute and scary. I wish my cat could tell some stories, but I guess she's too sleepy. Although we have talked about this many times, unfortunately, yeah, she's just not in the mood for talking. And so, the best Halloween candies are Reese's, obviously. If you have not had them, if you are, Ukrainian, they aren't sold here really. Those are the best candies, but I make them better. They are healthier and tastier as well. So I guess I'm gonna be streaming today, or I have already streamed today. I'm not sure, but it's Halloween. I mean, I've gotta celebrate somehow. Maybe I am in costume right now. We don't know that yet because I'm recording this kinda ahead of time. So let's just say boo, right? I mean, you cannot disagree with that. So boo again. And I mean, I could read some scary stories, but I don't wanna. Let's talk about creepypastas. I'm not gonna like tell you all of them. I'm just gonna speak about my experience with them. So, I think I became a fan of creepypasta when I was 11, and it lasted about a year or so, maybe two, but that's max. And I mean, the obvious ones are like the Slenderman ones, right? But there was also Jack the Killer, which was my favorite, and some others that I don't remember anymore. Oh no. Oh, there was a girl, her name was Sally, and she was a ghost, and I really, really did not like that story. If you know, you know, it's pretty messed up. Um, yeah, I don't even wanna like talk about it. It's a little bit traumatizing. So, I even remember when I was 11, I dressed up for Halloween as Jack the Killer. So, I just had like a white top and a red a big red smile on my face, and there was such a stupid photo shoot just in my mom's room with me and a knife and a pumpkin that probably looked like crap. But you know what? I was inspired and I really liked it, so that's fine. And I remember drawing a lot of creepypasta stuff, I think. Yeah, so that was my obsession, but then I kinda had to give it up because there was a classmate of mine, which, like, here is a story. So I was drawing by myself, and there were two more classmates in the classroom, and they were like talking weirdly. So they were two girls, and they were like saying some messed up things, like I'm gonna take your kidneys and stuff like that. And I was just sitting there drawing, so literally not participating or anything. Then I come home, and so I am doing my homework, and my mom comes to the kitchen when where I was working, and she says, this classmate's mom called me, and she said that you said something about knives and kidneys and all of those things. So now you are going to be without your phone. And I'm gonna be honest with you here. I was a little bit surprised, not gonna lie, a little bit, since I had no participation in that, and I honestly tried to ignore them. And so I was the only one who was punished for all of this. So I guess that classmate, and she was a bitch, let's be honest. She was terrible, like very, very hypo. What is it? What is this word? Like hypocritical? No, two-faced. Let's just say that. And so I guess she just lied to her mom for some reason. She just decided to ruin my life. And so I was without my phone for months, literal months after that. So I guess this is the scariest story of all of them. So if you've got some people around you who are two-faced, be careful and try to not be around them. But I guess from my story, you can come to a conclusion that it won't work. Like, if you've got a terrible person, they are gonna do bad things to you. So people are the scariest things of all time. Well, when I was 13, I wanted to start watching Supernatural, right? And here is the thing. I already told you I am sensitive, very sensitive. And so I watched the first three episodes, and they are the scariest ones. And so there was this episode about Bloody Mary. Okay, and so I'm 13. I watched this episode, and then for a couple months, I couldn't look in the mirrors, in any reflections, because in that episode, Bloody Mary was kinda chasing people through the reflections. So doesn't matter if those were mirrors or stuff like that. It would also be like water reflections, so literally anything. And so I couldn't look at myself. I was so terrified. I couldn't sleep normally. I was so afraid that in the dark there would be a monster, a ghost, waiting for me. And also, at the same time, we didn't have hot water running. And if you know what I mean, we had to heat it up on the stove and just pour the boiling water um, in a whatever thing it is. Um, Jesus, how is it called? Like a bucket or something, to like then take a pen and pour it all over yourself in order to wash. And I was so scared of um, even washing myself because there would be waters, and I knew that there would be a reflection there. So yeah, that's another scary thing. Now I think we have reached our limits. I'm not really a fan of scary things. Again, I really like Halloween for being cozy and stuff. So please eat some pumpkin spiced stuff, pumpkin flavored stuff. I guess at this point I have streamed a lot of Halloween things, hopefully. Hopefully I was capable of doing that. So let's just say that I am thankful for you for listening if you did. And also, boo! Bye!